Match game tonight, 7:30. From New York's #1 news television station, this is Eyewitness News with Roger Grimsby, Bill Beutel, Storm Field with the weather, Bruce King with sports, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening, I'm Roger Grimsby. Here now the news. Harlem's Sydeniram Hospital is still occupied tonight by demonstrators, neighbors who marched on the hospital nearly 24 hours ago to keep the city from shutting Sydeniram down. The demonstrators are still there. So is Milton Lewis with this report.
Roger, as far as the people up here in Harlem are concerned, Mayor Koch will never close Sydeniram as a community hospital. A little less than an hour ago, this is what the assemblage was told from the steps of the hospital.
We're holding this hospital. We're going to continue to hold it. And we denounce the actions of the mayor, the unresponsiveness of the mayor, and the bad faith of the Health and Hospitals Corporation.
Fresh teams of demonstrators have been showing up throughout the day, coming not only from Harlem, but from all parts of the city. Chanting pickets and some people sitting in protested the official order to close Sydeniram Hospital's emergency room at 8 this morning. It continued to operate, though far from its usual pace. Where at least 20 patients normally appear before noontime, there was only one today.
I heard on the radio that they were going to take emergency cases, and that's the reason why I came here.
Are they taking emergency cases, doctor?
We have doctors here trying to handle some patients who come in. Yes, we have physicians in the emergency room.
The plan is to phase out and close Sydeniram as a full-scale hospital within 30 days. City Hall maintains the facility is unnecessary and too costly. This medical van was set up outside the hospital to handle any emergency cases, but it doesn't appear to be doing very much business.
We feel that it's a disgrace to this community here to have Big Murray for the EMS to be out here to tell the black folks in this community, the poor folks in this community, that you must use this trailer bus out here to give medical care service here, where we have a good hospital here, Sydeniram Hospital, to give the care. So I want to say to you that we're going to be here all night, we're going to be here all day. This hospital belongs to the community. It does not belong to Mayor Koch, nor Governor Kerry.
The hospital currently has 68 patients, its capacity being 119.
The patients who are in the house will be discharged in a normal fashion. In other words, a patient came in last evening, and the patient is scheduled to stay 10 days. He will stay 10 days and then be discharged. We will be ensuring that all of the patients are discharged in a normal fashion.
What's your own feeling about this, Mr. Carter?
Well, my feeling is that I've always felt the hospital is needed, and that's the way I feel now, but I don't make the policy.
I'm told that except for the emergency room, everything worked quite normally today, and that even 5 operations took place. These people say they will not accept what Mayor Koch says. He wants to close Sydeniram, and he tells these people, use Harlem hospitals or other hospitals in the area. They say, no good, Mr. Mayor, no good, Mr. Mayor. Milton Lewis reporting live from Harlem, and now back to Bill.
In the neighborhood of Sydeniram Hospital, they worry about their health, and the people in Mount Olive, New Jersey worry about their health too. They're worried about toxic chemicals in a landfill in the neighborhood, and they're worried about new proposals for increasing the use of that landfill. Bob Miller.
This garbage dump will probably be filled to capacity within a couple of months. The owners are asking for permission to expand it by creating a pile of trash and dirt 150 feet high. Naturally, residents of the area object to that. But there's more. Groundwater at the site picks up various chemicals from the refuse. Tests have shown that some of those chemicals are toxic, things such as cyanide and lead.
We need scientific evidence and development of a study, a good characterization of this site to determine that it is or is not safe.
People living nearby are afraid to drink their well water. They worry about what looks like an unusual number of illnesses and birth defects.
What we wanted here was incorporated in finding out what's going on at the dump, an adequate health study by on a state level or whatever it may be, by someone that is qualified to do that. I found enough illnesses in the area that I feel one is warranted.
Near the landfill is a school, which has its own well for drinking water. The same applies to a large apartment complex not too far away. I talked about the situation with the landfill's manager.
I feel for those people. I can understand the disparity of having a landfill next to your property. However, these landfills are necessary. They're a product of society, and people generate waste.
Tomorrow and Thursday at the Mount Olive Upper Elementary School, there will be public hearings on the idea of building a mountain of garbage. It is safe to say that the project has not caught the public fancy. In New Jersey, Robert Miller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
For the new U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, the job of cleaning up illegal toxic waste is a priority. William Robertson, who was sworn in as a replacement for the retiring Robert Del Tufo, says he will strengthen the special task force that deals with those who illegally dump chemicals in New Jersey. Roger?
Yesterday's hope for an early release of the hostages fades fast. Iran's parliament is not acting the way we expected. The parliament was supposed to take up the hostage issue when the session began today. Instead, it voted to form a special committee to handle the crisis now of 318 days. Even President Carter has backed down from his earlier statement of a possible breakthrough on the hostage issue. The president saying now there is no prospect for an early solution.
Emergency at Heathrow Airport in London today. A Pan Am national jet heading for Miami. 2 tires blew. The landing gear caught fire because of that. All this during takeoff. The pilot brought his DC-10 to a stop only 400 yards from the end of the runway at Heathrow. And the 234 passengers and crew aboard the plane had to evacuate by emergency chutes. 9 people were hurt, none of them seriously, and the passengers are on another plane headed back to the United States. Raj?
Motorcycle stuntman Gary Wells is in critical condition tonight. His attempt to jump over the fountains at Caesar's Palace in Vegas didn't work. Thousands jammed the resort to see Wells jump the same jump that seriously hurt Evel Knievel 13 years ago. Wells said he wanted to make the jump since he was a child. He made his final approach as the cameras rolled. The jump was being taped for ABC's show That's Incredible. As the crowd watched Wells lose control at 90 miles an hour, they pushed forward for a better view, breaking a retaining wall. 6 people injured when they fell 15 feet to the concrete below. The injured spectators released from the hospital after being treated for cuts and broken bones.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, Abbie Hoffman opened up his books today so a judge could find out what he's worth. The accused murderer at the Met loses his first fight in a courtroom, and later in the program we're going to see hundreds of young girls trying to become Lolitas. Plus, these stories, too.
I'm Roger Sharp at City Hall. City union contracts may be settled, but the mayor is in a new fight with labor over political funding.
New York City has a new gimmick, a talking litter basket. Will it help keep New York City clean? Details coming up.
This may surprise you. A sugar-free Velemint has 9 calories, while a cool, refreshing Tic Tac has 1.5 calories. Tic Tac, the 1.5 calorie mint.
Why don't you get me some term financing?
Hey, why don't I get you some term financing?
Why don't you ever come up with something new? Why don't you get me...
At United Jersey Bank, we'll come up with innovative solutions to your business problems instead of wooden answers.
What I need is better cash management.
You know, what you need is better cash management.
If your banker's best ideas come from you...
Maybe I'm at the wrong bank.
The right bank is United. United Jersey Bank.
Radio City Music Hall presents Manhattan Showboat. The Daily News calls it an extravaganza, and Newsday a spectacular that nothing in Las Vegas can touch. See Manhattan Showboat at the Music Hall.
Bo Bridges, an idealistic intern who dares to question the system in Medical Story. Tomorrow on the 4:30 movie.